All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily, where we post daily Houston Rockets content. Hope you guys are doing well. We have the NBA playoffs starting tomorrow, and we're going to do some Rocket hot take from my Discord. Yeah, that's really it. We're going to do some Rocket hot takes. Rockets hot takes. Why is that so? Whatever. Anyways, I have a Discord, the link's in the bio, and I asked the guys in my Discord for some hot takes, and we're going to just kind of rattle off some here. I haven't looked at these too much. I don't like looking at them too in-depthly. If you guys like it, hit the like button, hit that sub button as always. First one's from my man Gamer. The Rockets will fall out of the top 4 pick and get pick number 5. This would suck. I don't think it would be the end of the world, but this definitely would be unfortunate. We do have a 48% chance of falling out of the top 4, so it really isn't all that inconceivable. But you know, if it were to happen, it's not the end of the world. Whether you're going to trade up, or you know, maybe we almost have a similar situation as to last year, where you have a guy like Scottie Barnes squeak into that number 4 pick. Where like I felt like all offseason last year before the draft, we were talking like it was the 2 Jalen's, Evan, and Cade. Like, that was the undisputed top 4, and that's not how the draft went. Number 2, we have Puska, the GOAT. Rockets will trade for another lottery pick. If they're going to do it, this would be the year. You still have a good amount of draft picks. I still think that they're going to use those draft picks to bundle it up for superstar players, which we'll actually get into in just a second here. But you know, I don't think that we trade for another lottery pick. But if there's going to be a year, this is definitely the season, you know, maybe with the hope that you're going to kind of acquire a player similar to Alperen Sengun around the middle of the draft, late lottery, something like that. This draft just isn't as deep, but you know, next year's draft is actually like looking pretty solid at the top, especially. So that's a good one. That's another good one. Next one's Curly Head. Rockets will draft Jabari Smith and Jaden Hardy and lose in the play-in tournament. I like that a lot, dude. There are guys like Hardy out there that I think would be absolutely amazing for the Rockets, and those are like late lottery type of players. So, you know, I kind of like that. Lose the play-in tournament. I do agree with that. I do think the Rockets will be in the play-in tournament next season. This one's from my man Trappy Gilmore. Rockets will be a 7th to 8th seed, boarding 6th seed next year with the right moves in the offseason. Dude, that's crazy. I don't think we're going to get a top 6 seed, let alone 7 to 8's not too bad. I don't think we're going to get a top 6 seed, but 7 to 8, and obviously kind of right there in the play-in tournament. My big thing is I look at teams in the Western Conference, and I'm like, all right, who can the Rockets overtake? Well, maybe Utah if they decide to blow it up, but, you know, LA's going to be better next year. The Timberwolves are going to be better next year. You know, Pellies are going to be better next year. So I think more so 9 to 10, but I do like that. The one caveat is I don't think we're going to make too many moves in the offseason, because we made one last year. Daniel Tice signed him for over $30 million for 4 years, and that was clear. It just didn't work out. It's kind of hard to make like signings in non-major free agent seasons, because we don't really know like the full direction of our team. We kind of want to see our players continue to progress. Gamer with a quick one here. They'll get a very high picks from the Nets in a few years from the Harden trade. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ben Simmons is going to kind of take over Brooklyn. But that's actually kind of a hot take in its own. Next one, Curly Head. Rockets will trade Wood and this year's pick for a lottery pick. That's what I've been seeing a lot of. And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't be upset by it. You guys know my stance on Christian Wood right now, or, you know, I don't think he's going to be a part of us long term, but I am willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, give him another season, because he's been impressive in his first 2 years, offensively speaking. I do like that, though. You know, I've seen some stuff where it's like Christian Wood and our lottery first for like the Blazers, you know, 8th or 10th pick, something like that. So that's actually like super realistic in my eyes. This next one is Balin. Rockets will trade for a disgruntled star in the offseason, i.e. Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Zion, AD, etc. And, you know, this is one of those. You know, this is definitely one of those. This is probably what the title of the video is going to be, the Rockets trading for a disgruntled star. My thing is, I don't think it happens quite yet. I hope I'm wrong, though. You know, I just really hope I'm wrong, because, you know, we've had debates on this in the Discord so many times, dude. I feel like Harden kind of put in a lot of more of the younger side of Rockets fans, where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just draft, we'll be the worst team next year. We'll draft number 1. We'll have, Jalen Green and, Paolo, and we'll be, we'll then go ahead and sign LeBron James in the offseason after that. It's like getting stars to come to your squad, whether it's from the draft, is extremely rare. Drafting stars is extremely rare, or it's way more rare than you think. And then just being able to sign free agent stars is a lot more difficult than you think as well. So I do like the idea for trading for a disgruntled star. I mean, I've made videos about Zion coming over. I made videos about Gobert coming over. I absolutely love it. Even a guy like Donovan Mitchell. I understand we had Jalen Green here, but if you're able to get a guy like Donovan Mitchell at a discounted price, I think you'd find a way to make that work. Whether it's Jalen Green turning into a PG, Donovan Mitchell turning into a BG, staggering them, I don't know. I don't want to figure out the logistics, but all I can say is if the Rockets traded for Donovan Mitchell, you would not hear a single complaint from me. All right, next up we have Curly Head. Rockets should try and sign Miles Bridges in free agency. I love Miles. I think he's definitely... he's obviously legit. I mean, he was a most improved candidate, or he is a most improved candidate. I don't think he's going to win it. That should easily go to Jordan Poole. But I do like the idea. But as Balin points out here, he wants 5 years, 173. It's definitely not a guarantee that he gets that extension from Charlotte. If I'm Charlotte, I'm extending him. I don't think Miles Bridges will go to a different team in free agency, but. I'm not too comfortable paying a guy that much money. The good news is we don't have that much money to pay a guy. Like, we can't do that. Financially, we just can't do that. But a small forward, you guys know if you watch my channel, small forward's a guy like I desperately want. Like a legit small forward is a guy I like desperately want. All right, let's see here. This one's from Cade. The Rockets will not be a playoff team in the next 2 years. This will ruffle some feathers. I think a lot of Rockets fans are starting to come aboard the way the Rockets season ended this past year. The wins didn't come together, but, Cade, I can definitely understand why you would think this. I definitely, we have the worst defense in the NBA. It's really not even close. Our defense is god-awful. So I think if you were to have this standpoint, you're probably imagining, whoever the Rockets get next season isn't going to make like a big, whatever rookie you draft isn't going to make a big enough splash to get you to the postseason, which is totally viable because it is a rookie. I think the Rockets would have to probably miss on their draft pick this year. I think we would have to make no moves in free agency. And then I think what would have to happen for the next year to not make the playoffs is I think you would probably either re-sign Christian Wood and it doesn't work out, don't re-sign Christian Wood and it doesn't work out, maybe you don't have a replacement for him, something of sorts, and you just have another just terrible season, which would definitely suck. That would definitely suck. So I think the Rockets will be a play-in tournament team next year. If they're not next year, they'll definitely be a play-in tournament team the year after that. Next one, Curly Head. Rockets will package a deal that will send Christian Wood and David Nwaba for Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish. Knicks free up cap space, and Rockets get a young stud who has yet to show star potential. So yeah, this was in a YouTuber AM Hoops video. Cam Reddish, to me, isn't a player that I would trade Christian Wood for. I don't know if it's just me. The thing with Cam Reddish is he hasn't really been given a full opportunity in the NBA. New York definitely didn't give him. I just feel like that value is a little bit high. I feel like, with talking about Cam Reddish, it's more of like his potential, and that like really runs his value up as, as how typically that goes. But, I don't know if I'm fully on board with trading Christian Wood to get Cam Reddish, but I think it's another one of those, if they were to do it, I wouldn't be upset. But you are taking a pretty big gamble. You're trading away your best player on your roster for a guy who might be good. It's tough. He's also had some injury concerns in his, very brief NBA career. But Fournier, that contract is god-awful, and he's kind of like the big one in that trade where it's like, I'm not too big on that. All right, last one is from my boy Charlie. If you haven't, I think the Rockets should draft Ivy over Jabari and Chet if they get the chance at 2 to 3. And I think the Matthews contract was a bad idea. The good news with the Garrison Matthews contract is money's about to rise. Contracts are about to rise, and salaries are going to be a lot more. Garrison Matthews, I think, is a good player. I think they probably jumped the gun on Garrison. They signed him like really freaking fast after like barely playing for us. But you know, if we're talking like 2-3 years down the line where he's like the 10th man in the rotation making like $1 million, $2 million a year, that's where I think that Garrison Matthews signing comes to help them out, is if they start to get a little bit more relevant. But the issue I have, it's good depth to have, I think. That's important to know. The issue I have is, like, you know, KJ, Jay Sean, if they get another small forward, it's kind of going to be like, well, there isn't really much opportunity for Garrison. But they'll find a way. They always do find a way. You know, we saw Eric Gordon play freaking small forward for some reason for half the goddamn year. Jaden Ivey, these are videos I'm about to start making here probably once the playoffs get underway, or especially once the playoffs are over and we start getting closer to the lottery, which is in a month. You know, Jaden Ivey's a player where, if you guys have been watching me, I don't have, like, I wouldn't be pissed off if the Rockets draft Chet. I wouldn't be pissed off if they draft Ivey, Paolo. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to trust Rafael Stone. You know, I'm still kind of leaning a little bit more towards Jabari, Paolo, Chet as far as Ivey goes, just because of positional. But that's the thing, is it's all positional. I think if we're talking about, like, a guy who's going to come into the league next year and immediately produce, a player like Jaden Ivey, to me, it's like pretty much a given. Like, Jaden Ivey, whatever team he gets drafted to, he's going to produce for him. So not a hot take at all in my eyes, but I think Rockets fans will think that it's a hot take. That's it for today, man. Thank you guys so much. Maybe drop some hot takes down below in the comment section, or join our Discord if that interests you. Hit the like button, hit that sub button as always. Leave some opinions on the hot takes, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.